But as Lawrence said, clubs are hugely affected financially by this. Is this going to change the Premiership? Is this going to change rugby forever, Ugo?
Could well do. We don't know the impact and effect that this unknown period is going to have, because number one, we don't know how long it's going to last for. We know in the Premiership there's not a single team within the Premiership that's making any money. So if you're on a healthy season already in the red, then this is massively going to affect all of that. You've got Saracens who've got a huge fixture against Harlequins, supposedly meant to be next weekend at Tottenham's ground. That was due to bring in about £500,000. That's now lost revenue. Of course, this plays second fiddle to everything else, and you've already mentioned in terms of the health and safety. But as Lawrence says, in terms of the cash flow problems that all of these clubs are going to have to face and deal with, some might be better suited than others. Not everyone has the deep pockets of the likes of a Bristol or a Bar, so it really is uncertain. No one likes it. No one likes not knowing whether they can feed their family, whether they can pay the rent or their mortgage or afford to be able to just fill up the fridges. That's exactly where we are, and that's not me scaremongering. They're the conversations that have been had. I've spoken to friends of mine who are out of contract at the end of the season looking to find clubs. They were hoping to play the next load of games, to be able to put their faces into the shop window, to be able to show everyone else, this is what I can do. They can't do that. There's players that would traditionally have surgery at the end of the season to get themselves fixed and ready, but there's not going to be a surgeon who wants to see it. It's not seen as essential. We need those hospital beds. We need those surgeons working on this pandemic, not your shoulder, not your knee, not your ankle. So everything really is on hold. And as Lawrence said, it's forever changing. We are living day by day. We're waiting to hear more from the government. Unfortunately, they're coming out. They're being really vocal. Communication's been great, and we will get updates from them every single day. So things that we're reporting today might change tomorrow, could change next week. We just have to wait and see.
What is the realistic chance of this season being played out, of this season finishing?
My sense is, and it's only my opinion, that we've got a long way to run just yet. If you look at what's happened in China, when was the spike of the coronavirus, relative to them trying to get things back to normal again, I don't think we're anywhere close to the spike. So for governing bodies to postpone sporting events till the end of April, I think is a sensible measure. But I feel in my heart that at the end of April, that'll come around quite quickly, and we'll be pushing it back to the end of May, the end of June. And I'll be very surprised if as dramatic as it sounds, and does it really matter, quite frankly, if any sport is played in the next 6 months?
To quote Leo Varadkar, the Irish Taoiseach Prime Minister, last night, he said, this is only the start of it. There's a storm coming. There's a surge coming. As Lawrence said, we don't even know what that's going to look like now. So the chances of tours going ahead, international tours this summer, the hope is for summer rugby, but Ugo, we would be very lucky for that to happen, wouldn't we?
We would be extremely lucky for that to happen. We need a load of things to go our way, which is totally out of our control. And that feeling of being out of control is actually quite sad. That adds to anxiety, stress, worry for everyone involved, whether you're a fan that would normally be sat in the West Stand, whether you're a player on the pitch, whether you're an administrator, an owner, and everyone in between. And I think that's the bleak outlook of what it is. We're not here to spread or to scaremonger or to spread negativity or any of those things. That's just where we're at, and I think we need to actually understand that, harness that realisation of it. If we were to get summer rugby, something has to give. England is due to go to Japan. Can Japan even host any games? They've got an Olympics game, which is currently still on. I think it's highly unlikely. You've seen the Euros been suspended for a year for lots of different reasons. One, to accommodate the Premiership season, but we're having to find 9 weekends to fulfil the requirements of the Premiership. I just think it's highly unlikely at this point.